We're going to reveal our map for set 3 here. We already know what it is, but I'm not going to tell you guys till the graphic comes up. It's a secret. Uh, it's going
Just
to
trolling
be
for a second.
Infernal Shrines. No surprise, it's also Mighty's map pick, as Raven will once more take first pick. 3 first picks in a row. Maybe the third time will be a charm here in this best of 5. They've been struggling, G-Clef. They're the struggle team right now.
Yep, but this is the battleground where the ban pick slightly changes with Diablo, Kerrigan, and possibly Sonya, which did not work out so perfectly yesterday. We'll see what happens in this draft. We're gonna, as I said, we're gonna see some funky, maybe not Nazebo. We'll see.
Well, anything funky, Matt. It worked okay for them last time. Also, is it me or is the gingerbread Nazebo the coolest skin we've ever had?
It is. I believe it is. And the new Lunar Leeming skin. I think I love that one too.
I know you are like super into the volleyball Leeming skin. That's what you always use when you play.
Oh, striker Leeming. That's gone now.
I know. Banned from competitive play. Sad.
Oh,
I shed a tear every time.
Well, but still, Mighty, for Mighty's side, Leeming is putting lots of damage, making the team fight going into their favor, their hands.
Yeah, perhaps.
So perhaps it is a time to have NMX on Leeming this time.
Yeah, perhaps we need to see NMX take Leeming for himself and let SDE have Tychus.
Yeah.
Because SDE has also been playing a great Ragnaros today, so what are you going to do? That's also been somewhat of a problem for them. The Ragnaros poke damage on Molten Core has just whittled Raven down, especially when they were behind on Sky Temple. It was a really big problem. And then also got them a few kills on Joju. Joju, okay, they're going to prioritize Ragnaros here. This is better, I think, than the Malfurion prioritization, especially because Joju's been having such a tough time in general just staying alive.
Yes, that is correct. And even though Malfurion is one of the best supports right now, and giving Malfurion to Mighty, that might create different problems, but still taking Ragnaros and changing up their draft a little bit, I like this already.
Yeah, no, I think the Malfurion is just like so good in general. He's not the hero you think about, like Ragnaros, where you think, okay, he's so broken, like he's so powerful, what do we do? Like the same way you look at Zarya, for example. But in the right hands, it can be quite good. I feel like with how these games have been going, I like the direction Raven's going. They're going to go for the Vala Ariel. It's been a little while, a few games since we've seen that. Not really something Raven's been showing us a whole lot of, but they're making some changes here. The changes they made on Cursed gave them a better game too, so I'm liking the direction here.
And also, hopefully they go for a double tank again in the front line. Maybe that will create less damage, but still they've been playing a lot better with that. And this map, macro does matter in all maps, but this is the map where it's a 3-lane map, but still macro matters a little less compared to other maps, and as all the members are lots of the time forced to be in the shrine taking that minion kills to get that Punisher. So we'll see how.
You know what a hero that I feel like Raven's playstyle would really do well on here, and this is gonna sound crazy.
Yes.
Is
no.
Zul.
Zul?
I think Zul like really suits Raven's playstyle. Like it seems that when they have this heavy-handed control of the minion waves, they end up doing well in terms of macro. But if they lose control of wave clear and they don't have like a tough, big hitting, like Nazebo, for example, is also a similar type specialist, to push the lanes, they struggle. I'd like to see a ban here on ETC. I'm going to ban Tychus, that's targeting SDE. So they've taken Vala, but this is going to give Magi, if he is going to be the player playing it, again, Leeming if he wants it. You don't normally see Leeming paired with Gul'dan, but it does happen.
Too bad we do not see Zul anymore, especially because Hearts is gone from the map pool. The closest map I would say to see Zul would be Spiders, maybe.
Spiders are this one, I'd say. Spiders, I think, a little bit higher chance than this one. But, yeah, no, we don't see Zul a whole lot. Just such a sad state of affairs.
Yeah, I miss those good old days where Zul was just first pick or like insta ban from the beginning of the draft all the time.
I actually really miss him. But anyway, we'll see if Raven, they probably won't. There's like no chance. But if they ever considered it, I'd be like, oh, he's alright. You know?
Well, ETC is still open. Murden, they are the ones that banned Murden. That was a little bit surprising for me. And Raven did play Murden pretty well. And it looks like it was sniped.
They can't do solo Gul'dan, so it's either going to be our Sergeant Hammer or Leeming coming, I think, to join. Kerrigan and Johanna first. We'll see if we'll see what the second damage is in a moment when we get to the end of the draft. Kerrigan, actually, we didn't talk about her, but making it very deep into this. Kerrigan is a hero that you have to have a really good melee player. You need a Dami, you need a Rich, okay? And for Mighty, is Sans going to be that guy? I'm not sure. So it's not as big of a threat because Sans is more of an all-rounder type player. He's not the heavy hitter, melee assassin, huge scary threat. And on Raven's side, like, I don't need to tell you guys about H82. Speaking of which, here's a Medivh.
I actually like this pick because having only Auriel might not be enough for Vala, and having that Medivh to protect Vala when she gets bursted, especially with Kerrigan that gets CC'd and Johanna with that blind, I think that's a pretty good pickup.
Wow, they're gonna go deep on the double supports on both sides with solo range damage. So solo range damage on Gul'dan, solo range damage on Vala is going to be the matchup to look out for. If either of those heroes die, the damage drops significantly for both of these two teams. As well as Medivh being able to, like you said, shield when someone gets Kerrigan comboed, the ETC early game pressure. This looks to be a fiery third game here in our first best of 5 of the night. Will Mighty close it out 3-0, or is Raven going to win their first professional game as a group of 5? We're going to find out right now on Infernal Shrines. In blue, it is Team Mighty. Joker on Johanna, Sans on Kerrigan, Magi on Tastar, Nasong on Malfurion, and SDE on Gul'dan.
And in red, it is Raven looking for their first win. Joju on Ario, Hamlin on Vala, NMX on Medivh, Diong on ETC, and H82 on Ragnaros.
All right.
Let's see how well NMX can play Medivh. I think it is his first time. First time in HGC Korea for sure.
Definitely. Did we have him one time? I'm trying to think actually. I think we may have had him one other time, but not coming to me right now. Either way, I know he's been banned multiple times.
But not in the season, the seasons before.
Yeah. Sans is actually the player who played him a lot in Season 3 of 2016, but
I believe he was one of the first ones to play it in Season 3 also.
Yeah. And then everyone was like, oh, he's not good, and then Rich played it, and everyone's like, oh, never mind, but another story for another time. As Sans has stepped up his play massively. I still feel, I know we're early in the season, but most improved since Season 3 as a player by a million miles.
Yep, I agree on that too. And Sans has been picking up, and also Nasang on support role. I think he is the player that should be on the support end. He has been supporting his team just so well with those ancestrals especially.
The Rhaegar play has been especially impressive. Joju, on the other hand, has been a little bit disappointing at times. I just feel like putting him on a hero like Ariel, who has a little bit of an escape with her Detainment Strike, is definitely going to help him in terms of positioning and not getting caught and killed. She doesn't have Ice Block, but we'll see how many times Joju has to self-stasis with the Crystal here, as Hamlin is just doing as much as he can to build up that hope. Dion going to come down here, but good positioning by Mighty. No power slay even attemptable. And there's two reasons why we see Medivh, generally speaking, in competitive play. In Korea, normally it's for poke to deny channels, and just the extra damage he provides. His portals give utility, he shields a little bit. But you sort of see him as a secondary support for a glassed cannon type solo DPS or solo melee. In this case, it's going to be the Vala. So this time, it's not about denying channeling. It's about how much protection he's going to give us against this Kerrigan combo. And later on, once he gets his multi-shield, he's going to be insanely powerful against Kerrigan.
And also, he does a lot of damage once he gets that stack with Master's Touch. Let's see how well NMX can actually harass the entire team of Mighty. And so far, having Johanna on the other side, it is affecting a little bit because Hamlin did get blind a couple of times. So here comes Medivh. Actually, Medivh is the one that gets blown up.
That awkward portal feels bad, man.
Didn't get into that portal. That will make a lot of Even when you're rooted, you can still go into that portal
That's
if
right.
you're close enough. But if you're a little bit further away, you can't actually go into the portal.
It
So
operates the same way as a door to the mines, for example,
Mhm.
on Haunted Mines will operate. So DeYoung missing the power slide here, and Molten Core is active. They're trying to do what they can, but this is going to be a one shrine for Mighty. If you lose any control when you have such a strong solo Shriner, which Raven is actually missing here, you like if you're up against a Sonya or Diablo or a Kerrigan, especially with Gul'dan paired with her, if you lose the beginning of the fight, if you can never get onto the shrine and start putting any pressure on, you lose it. This time, they sent Ragnaros immediately mid to counteract at least the EXP, so I like that a lot. And I do feel like they were able to realize very quickly what was happening and respond. And in fact, look, HA2 is even going all the way down to the bot lane right now for some extra EXP. So I'm liking what they're doing here. Even though they lost this first Punisher, they got a decent amount of EXP, only lost a fort wall, and they're A-okay.
something else they could have done is have that Ragnaros when the Punisher comes, because Ragnaros did end up using the Molten Core before the Punisher didn't even come out. So they can send the Medivh down to get the EXP and have that Molten Core just to take out that Punisher a little bit earlier than they just did. That was another option, but they chose not to do so.
So the Tassadar build here, ooh, Hamlin, a lot of damage. Not going to get the power slide.
It
there
looks
with
like
the Iron
another.
Skin.
It looks like a lot of damage, a lot of shots fired, but not really because of that blind. And you'll see that in effect all throughout this game, especially during the shrine fights.
So we're seeing this, instead of going for speed for Tassadar, because he has the ability to choose between speed and armor at level 4, we're seeing Tassadar take Kala's Light every time, which is when his shield breaks, you're going to get extra armor, and that's going to help keep Kerrigan, or SDE on the Gul'dan, stay alive a little bit longer, have that extra armor. It's just flat armor at the end of the shield expiration, so Kerrigan will be able to dive a little bit harder, won't be as mobile on the ground, but it's a very nice defense ability. We've seen that almost exclusively on the new Tassadar. We've seen some variations of the build, but that at level 4 has been pretty much the same every time. Just going to give you that insight into how Koreans are building the hero right now with the rework. Hamlin really deep in the top lane here, as we're going to have kind of a trade between this bot fort with the Impalers and the double push at the top as HAD2 takes this camp. It's so difficult to deal with this Vala Ario combo because it's just infinite hope, infinite healing, and Vala's got such good wave clear. They're going to rotate up now. Actually, no, they're not, because the Shrine comes at the same time. A lot more damage done, a lot more significant value from Raven in terms of structural damage because they also got that camp.
But before Mighty wants to go top because camp is already pushing, looks like they were looking for picks, but a second too late, and after clearing that camp, they have to. Well, they don't even have to go to that shrine too fast because they're wave clear. They can catch up the numbers so fast.
It looks like they want to try to get 10 first, leaving Johanna up there here. It's going to be a 5v4. Raven is out camping Mighty right now in terms of timings for usefulness. NMX in perfect position to spot the positioning of Sans. Going to portal, in fact, right next to him here. H82 coming in. They don't have 10 yet, though, and this is a problem. Horrify comes down, and Sans using his Maelstrom as well. This is going to be a stomp of a team fight here for Mighty. Definitely too aggressive there in terms of going through that portal right when 10 was reached. And we also had the rotation down from Joker, so it was a 5v5, Heroics versus Non. They've been doing everything up until that moment so well, but they're just overstepping the boundary
It
there.
almost looks like a misclick from a Joji going into that portal. He really didn't have to go through that portal. He could have stayed back in the back line. Oh, honestly, I think it was a misclick.
You know, we could definitely chalk it up to that because in terms of pro gamer skills, players able to qualify for HGC Korea, it's an uncharacteristic mistake to go into that kind of moment there. Perhaps they thought the protection would be enough, but speaking of protection being enough, just barely does Aegis get taken here to save DeYoung, but he's nearly dead regardless, and this is going to be a big amount of damage done to this fort. See Sulfuric Smash actually not really connecting here, but it's still enough because this is an arcane Punisher to take out this fort. So they've already done way more than what Raven was able to, or what they were able to do against Raven on the first push. Raven hasn't been able to do anything fort-wise except the light harassment they did in the top lane.
Yeah, with the second Punisher still pushing at the top, and Mighty they're rotating in a way. Looks like they won't have that momentum back after taking game number 2, which they almost lost against Raven, and making this right rotations, just taking down the first walls.
The Medivh pickup here, you know, it definitely helps protect. It's been a big panic button oftentimes, where we're seeing a hero get stunned by the Punisher or get caught by Blessed Shield, and then, or a Kerrigan combo, we see the big shield coming off to save them briefly. But after that, what happens? You know, that's the real question, because you see just the shield expire, and then Mighty's like, okay, well, your shield's over now, and I'm going to keep pushing you, I'm going to keep doing damage. They're just kind of getting beaten down, and because of they lost with both Punishers, they've been stuck in these defensive posturings where they can't really try to flank and get kills, especially against the Kerrigan. They need to win a shrine.
And I like this rotation now that ETC has that stage dive instead of mosh pit. He can just solo another lane top or bot and join the fight later on. But Mighty winning the camp rotations for now. Raven really having their camp already taken so like minutes ago. I think that's gonna cost them a lot, catching up their levels here.
Something gonna be frustrating. This is desperate. It's not gonna work. And this should never. You should never attempt something like this without vision. And they should have had vision from NMX, but he just wasn't correctly positioned there. He decided to fly back and get some soak. Now 13, and Mighty's gonna catch them here. We could see a force wall come down. Actually, went Archons. Never mind. That's not going to be not going to be available. But in the old days, we would have seen a force wall there. Still going to try to grab Hamlin. There's the protect I'm talking about. The panic protect doesn't actually get locked out by the CC. And H82 is going to molten core here. They're going to commit to this fight. Sands does get killed here. A big win here for Raven, winning that trade a level down. And here comes the stasis. They're going to commit. The stage dive comes in as well. DeYoung knocks SD and gets the lockdown on the stun here. Hamlin trying to do what he can, but he's so low on mana. With a multi-shot build here, he can't do as much damage as he'd like to do, and they're going to have to back off, it seems, regardless of that initial pick.
It was a front-line fight for both sides, and having Kerrigan down from the beginning of the fight, but actually it was the Horrify that turned around the team fight so much. They forced the entire team of Raven to just go, like, spread apart because of that. Lane line scene was great, but that stage dive did not really connect perfectly, I would say, but still a very, very good team fight for Raven.
Here's my whole like, if I had to give a summary of how I felt about that fight, is I saw Raven make a coordinated move. They got the stasis down. They went for the stage that wasn't perfect, but the idea there is like, okay, this is exactly what I want to see. You saw an opening. You were able to make a call. It was probably DeYoung who made the call. We made a call. We committed to it. We got a pick. We nearly won a team fight there, down a talent tier. That's improvement from what we've seen from them so far in this league. Just seeing more of this is going to make me happy. Very aggressive teleport here. We're going to see more of that coordination. A great Aegis onto DeYoung here. They already get the pick onto Gul'dan. SDE is dead. And this is actually going to be the shrine they were looking for.
Yep, Kerrigan just trying to get some more kills and trying to heal herself at the same time. Looks like that healing is just not enough. And first team fight won by Raven in game 3.
There you go. This is the shrine they were looking for. This is the win they were looking for. And now that heroics are available for Raven, we're really starting to see some more synergy in these fights. And what's changed from today to yesterday and last week is somewhat unclear. It seems to almost feel like confidence in some regards, as perhaps DeYoung is starting to shout call, or shot call. We're shout calling over here. Shot call a little bit better. But I'm impressed with how this game has gone for Raven post level 10.
And DeYoung having the guts to portal over to the left side, and it was also, I feel like I have to really give it up to Joju and giving that Aegis at the right time, blocking the Sephiroth smash. That was big.
Yeah, the Aegises have been really good. And we're going to see this one, I'm not going to give any props to that portal usage there. He protected himself as long as he could, but you know, if I take the G-Clef route on this one, perhaps a misclick.
As a Medivh, maybe not, but still. Yeah, that was just well caught by the Horrify. He had no chance of going back into that portal.
Just felt like a bit greedy to try to portal in there for some extra harass. Maybe it was going to try to turn around and Leyline Seal to set up a big fight, but definitely not what they were looking for. They're going to back off and take the Shaman camp, which will buy them some time to get NMX back into this fight. And they have a really strong push, actually, in the top lane with that Shaman camp. It's going to start threatening the keep wall for the next shrine.
I don't think Medivh completed his quest with the Master's Touch, and since it's dead, it's all gone now.
Yeah, that's a big problem. We've all played Medivh games in Hero League or
Yeah, that's also why you try to overextend a little to get that small stacks and also to harass.
It's such a well-designed talent because it's just so powerful, but you're always forced to put yourself in harm's way to try to get that bonus, and it's so painful when you fail. Same with Convection on Kel'Thas. Oh, I really lost it there. Big mistake, too greedy. Kind of quest, really well designed, I feel. 16 to 16 here. We did see SDE went and cleared the top lane, but because he's gone here, it's kind of a 5v4 situation right now for Mighty. They need to retreat. They're going to lose some of this keep wall. So that camp actually gets some small value here for Raven. NMX is just spy mode Raven here, watching everything.
I know DeYoung has to cover for Hamlin, but he's not. But they're having the front line only one tank. It feels like they really have to have their tank along with them just to be safe, not get caught on picks. But having ETC on stage dive, he should be the one that's rotating up and down away from his teammates.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. It's kind of H82 who's been solo moding this game. He got these impalers here. Hamlin is super low, though he's going to have to build up some more hope if they want to have any chance to heal him there. Big usage of Leyline Steel to actually turn this fight around as Blessed Shield got the stun. Joju using a Detainment Strike to help escape here. Sands wants the pick here, but a good portal will allow the retreat. So Heroics traded on both sides, but a 2-for-1 in favor of Raven. Only Leyline Steel being used there. And they lost positioning, but they have more Heroics to go into this next fight. Critically, Stage Dive, and that Sulfuric Smash.
And as you saw, the top lane is pushing towards that second wall. So Raven will be a little bit pressured going into this Shrine fight.
Yeah, they need to win it fast.
And already 20 from Mighty, that's so fast. And great CC's comboing just on Raven. That's not going to be enough to stop this kill.
Definitely not here. Hamlin trying to do as much damage as he can with the hope that he's given. He's doing a lot here, but he's slowed, and he's going to go down, and it will be a team wipe. The only one to survive is DeYoung on the microphone here. Going to be having some choice words for his team after that one. Good coordination. We'll have to go clear up this Shaman camp that's in the top. SDE cleared that earlier right before this, so kind of helped give that extra pressure. It is going to be the Frozen Punisher, so it's not necessarily a keep here, but it looks to be very likely with all the poke that they have with Tassadar and Gul'dan.
Yeah, they already have this. Yeah, they already have this wall down. I think Punisher is on his way, and Joker on this being front line. They're taking this down for sure.
Yeah, they have Johanna as well, which I failed to mention, but it's a dead keep, it seems to be. Everyone has respawn now, and they're still fighting on even talent tiers. Yes, they're 2 levels of scaling behind, but maybe they can force a fight here before Mighty can retreat. It's Joju who tries, and that means it's not going to happen. Punisher actually not even done yet. Gets aggroed over to the second keep, which is wise by Raven, but unfortunately couldn't save their keep. And they're actually going to go for a second keep off of this. If they get it, they'll get 20.
No, this is a fort.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you would expect to see a keep this at this time. Yeah, me too. I was thinking, is this a fort or keep?
I didn't look at the mini-map there. My papers were covering it on my screen. I got my OGN stats covering my mini-map there for a second, but yeah. Got a little bit concerned. I was like, well, isn't double keep.
Yeah, that would have been too much, yes.
Which still gives them EXP, which still pushes them towards 20.
So close to 20, yes. And Raven, they have to spend a long time, and it feels like not having ETC on the side, soaking up lots of EXP, which ETC have been doing by just a little time, but not too much. And ETC should be on the side the entire time if you have the stage dive available.
Yeah, it's going to be NMX actually that split soaks in Raven form in the top lane right now, as they just cannot send anybody out there. It's nice that they have this because generally speaking, if you're this pressured in mid, if you go up there, you're just going to get collapsed upon and die. Even if you are ETC, you're going to waste your heroic to escape. You're not going to get much. The Raven is going to do a little bit of soaking for them here. but he's not going to be able to instantly come back in, which is a problem with all the wave clear we just talked about and this Impaler camp that's pushing. In fact, double Impalers. They didn't get the keep earlier, I misspoke, but they're very close to getting it now. NMX comes back. He wasn't even quite able to get the 19, but he tried his best to even up that EXP.
Look at Sands on that carry gun. I don't think I've seen Sands playing on that carry gun. Skill shots on point, like even trying to look for kills before the team fight just by himself. So well played so far. And Raven looks like they need to take a lot more time to hit that 20.
With this spell build, SDE is just like, goodbye. Just going to queue for days, and anything I touch is dead. 2 keeps down now. 20 still not reached for Raven. The Shrine, well, if Raven is not going to lead to their core, they have a keep in its way. As I don't think there's any way they take the Shrine. Oh man, Mighty's even going to try to add insult to injury. Not going to work against NMX though.
Yep, they have the safety flying word, and NMX does spot, but they can't really contest for the Shrine. It is super hard.
Well, they're about to get 20.
Yeah, but if they go late, they can't catch up to the numbers because Mighty just, look at that, just clearing so fast right
I feel like
now.
they're going to have to try. We see the rotation up now. NMX calling out, positions as they move in. Dion can come in with a stage dive. He's hiding. It looks like he's setting up for that right now. He's just waiting for the position. Heading mid.
Mighty's also being super careful right now. And Raven down 23, but still Mighty's picking. Kerrigan's the only one picking up some minions on the Shrine.
Okay, 20 reached here. Upgraded stage dive. I mean, they really want to make this happen right now. Here he comes. Unfortunately, instantly rooted there. Super predictable. Mighty knew this was going to happen. I have a lot I want to say on this, but I guess we're going to let this fight ensue first.
Yeah, that was a great try, but Raven's still down in numbers. Ragnarok's kick. Oh, this is going to be Aegis saving, but not enough. Medivh does go down.
A
very
lot of
low.
damage done to Nasong, but he still survives here too. And now Sands is just going to have so much fun. Going on to Hamlin first, the silence to stop him from vaulting there. There's the reset onto the Ravage. He gets multiple more. Gets a reset on the menu to catch DeYoung here. And that will be the full wipe. And that is going to be game. 3-0 win here for Mighty. The second game, they had a little bit of trouble. This third game was not Raven's worst by any means. They had a solid game, but it's just not enough in the end. Mighty is going to take this 3-0. As we'll put Raven now down 0-4 and 0-12 in sets and maps. Look, ETC, you and I were talking about this a lot yesterday. It just feels like in terms of where his value is, it's in the early game. It seems Raven likes to prioritize him very highly, but they're unable to get those kills in the early game. And stage dive against Malfurion, we saw it all tournament long, especially yesterday for some reason. When you know that's the way they're going to engage, you just split, you put a route where he's going to land, and it feels like, oh, why did I even stage dive in the first place?
You can't even parse light right after.
Yeah.
You were just rooted right there, and Nasang rooted ETC and cleansed Kerrigan, who was caught for a second right after, saved Kerrigan. Very well played, and also Sands on that Kerrigan. Just insane getting those resets, healing himself up, and it's not super easy to hit all that CCs, but just perfect play coming out from Sands.
Yeah, he was really solid, and
impressive.
We didn't see the ban come out because, like I said, you're looking at really famous top-tier melee assassin players in Korea and abroad, like Fan and others, and Wiz, who's quite known for his melee play. When you have a star player on the other side, that's when you're looking at the Kerrigan ban. No one is probably looking at this afraid of Sands. Well, I think after this, maybe giving some consideration to Sands Kerrigan.
Yep, of course. That actually turned around a lot of the team fight, and having Johanna, Malfurion, I think they had the stronger draft from the start, and they took game 3. It is 3-0. Mighty take game first series of tonight, but we'll take after the short commercial break. We'll be back with L5 versus